The Supreme Court heard arguments today in a case where the Attorney General of New Jersey is targeting pro-life pregnancy centers, asking for confidential documents. The case involves First Choice Women's Resource Centers, a faith-based nonprofit that provides resources to women who face unplanned pregnancies. The New Jersey Attorney General demanded the Resource Center provide a list of its donors and internal communications. First Choice says this infringes their First Amendment rights and will deter donors from giving in the future. A decision is expected next June. Caleb Dalton, senior counsel with Alliance Defending Freedom, joins us now to discuss the details of the case. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
The Supreme Court seems poised to rule in favor of First Choice. Tell us more about the case and what's at stake here.
Well, we think New Jersey had a bad day in court today, and rightly so. This case is about whether or not state officials can be held accountable when they harass their political and ideological opponents and weaponize the justice system against them, or whether they can be held accountable in federal court. And we're hopeful that the court today, based on what we heard, we're hopeful that they rule in favor of First Choice and allow them to have their day in federal court.
It seems that the state of New Jersey is targeting First Choice for its deceptive website. Let's take a listen.
I just want to be clear about the facts. In response to Justice Thomas, when you were describing the premise for seeking this donor information, et cetera, you were mentioning that it was a misleading website. So is what the state wanted to do with the donor names and addresses is to contact them to figure out if they thought they'd been donating to an abortion clinic as opposed to a pregnancy care center?
I wouldn't frame it in exactly those terms, but I think we're looking at whether or not the donors have potentially been deceived. And I think if you look at...
That would be the subject of the deception, right? I gather that you think the website might have made them think that this was an entity that provided abortion care as opposed to a pro-life entity? So that was the concern?
Yeah, that's right, Your Honor.
Will donors be deceived by this nonprofit? And is the state targeting First Choice for being pro-life?
First Choice is absolutely clear about what they do. And every donor that donates, there's absolutely no evidence. Justice Thomas asked the Attorney General, have you ever received a complaint about this? And the answer was no. What the Attorney General is doing here is harassing First Choice Pregnancy Resource Centers that provides these resources to women in need, harassing them because they would like to provide women with the opportunity to choose life. Evidence shows that when women have the type of resources that First Choice provides to them, they're more likely to choose to keep their unborn child. And that's what First Choice is there doing. And the Attorney General is harassing them simply because they hold a different ideological view than the Attorney General. And just to make a point about the websites, that is absolutely disingenuous for the Attorney General to claim that there could be some sort of misinformation here, because what we know is, first of all, First Choice is clear that they're pro-life, but not only that, the Attorney General doesn't need that donor information. If he truly thought there was something untoward going on, he actually doesn't need that information. It's an objective test, and he failed to meet that test today.
Caleb Dalton, thank you so much for your insights.
Thanks for having me.